Hey, 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 sacred ones. Hello, hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome back. If you are returning and if you are new, welcome on in this thing. How everybody doing? Hopefully everybody is doing great. I am. I am doing fabulous. That was scratching my little leg in the back, a little ash anyway. Yeah, so I'm doing great. If you're new, my name is Nettie and I am going to be sharing with you all messages, channel messages from Spirit today. And often, this message of embodiment through self love comes through in channeled messages here. But we leave space for all measure of guidance from Spirit. So sometimes it might be some tarot cards reading, sometimes it might be some sound bowls playing. You never know, because I never know. So, so as Spirit gives me the guidance, that is what I do. So anyway, I just want to talk about this energy. Spirit has been giving me so many lessons and so many messages about where we are collectively, and this will look many ways for many of you, just because it's a collective message and everybody is different. But for a certain number of you, it'll look one way, and for a certain number of you, it'll look another way. But there are some things that are going on that are very significant to where you're going. Where you are is significant, but it is preparation for the next place. But in the meantime, there are some things that are necessary to navigate and get a pretty good hold on, because that is what is going to propel you forward. So, Spirit has been talking a lot about accountability, responsibility, and integration. As you probably have been able to tell, as far as the integration part is concerned, in many of the videos as of late, that is the thing that Spirit has been talking about. Well, that is important to embodiment. You have to be harmonious within or as a whole to be able to flow in embodiment. So, the other thing Spirit is, oh, thank you, reminding me of is compassion. Spirit wants you to know that it's important to be compassionate with yourself. Oh, in partnership. When I was meditating before this, Spirit was saying to make sure that you are compassionate with yourself, that you extend yourself compassion. It is important to do that. You have to deal with yourself in the same way that you would want anyone else to deal with you. So, compassion is going to be a key element in where you are in nurturing yourself in this tough place. There is a tough energy that is still present because you're integrating and you're learning to transmute energy. So, with that being the case, and we talked about it some in some of the last couple videos as well, but Spirit wanted to emphasize the compassion piece and the partnership aspect of it. You have to partner up, you have to sync, and this is the integration. You're syncing your spirit man with your flesh, your human aspect. Because you are learning to harmonize the two of them, it takes a lot of significant and intentional work to be able to do that. And one of those key elements is compassion. You got to extend yourself that measure of self-love. And Spirit was showing me or talking to me about partnership. So I don't know how many of you that watch this are partnered already. You have a significant other. But if you are not partnered, and even if you are, is what I'm hearing, we have in our mind the way that we want to be treated by other people. More specifically, we have in our mind the way we want to be treated by a romantic partner. The spirit is beckoning you and pushing you toward you treating you like you would want that partner to treat you. And partnering first with yourself and extending grace and extending love and extending compassion to you first. So that way you know what that is like. You need you right now. You will always need you first. So this is an important part of this journey for you. So do that. Whenever you are having a hard moment, you don't stay in the moment, but think about how you would assist someone else you love through a hard time. We all have great wisdom and understanding and knowledge when it comes to being compassionate and taking care of other people, but we need that for ourselves. So keep that in mind as you're going forward with these tough emotions and situations that bring out tough emotions, is what I'm hearing. And don't give up. Don't give up because you are remembering who you are and how to be with yourself. It's not something that was taught up till this point, so you don't know. You're new at it, and that's okay. It's okay to be new at it. It's okay to not have been as great as with it as you would hope, or maybe you once thought you were. That is one of the significant things about growth is that, and significant in the way that it makes it somewhat difficult because we have been wearing a mask even with ourselves for a very long time, and you don't know any better until you know better. You don't know to do better until you know to do better. You only know what you know and you don't what you don't. So you can only do with what measure of information, knowledge, and wisdom that you have access to. So don't beat yourself up about that. Now you know some things. You will continue to know some things because you're continually growing. So make sure that you stay in that growth mindset. Stay in a curious place about who you are and how you function optimally, and just get to know yourself like you would a partner. Spirit is saying to partner up with you. Become your own partner in intimacy. And again, like I said in the last one, this measure of intimacy is so different. It's so different than any measure of intimacy that you will experience outside of this. Hard to imagine because in general, we're not really doing well in intimacy even outside of ourselves. But this is the helpful component. This is the part that will help you to get better at even that. You will first filling your own cup up with intimacy and what that feels like and what that looks like and how you receive that from yourself. And then you are projecting that into the world and you're getting closer to the measure of intimacy that you desire in a partner. So if that is something that you are desirous of, then this is how you get there. You first extend this measure of love to yourself in order to get there. And with that comes responsibility and accountability. It's important to know that in every scenario, it doesn't matter whether you caused the thing or somebody else caused the thing, you have a measure of responsibility in it. You can't control what anybody else does, but you take control over and you be accountable to the part that is yours and navigate in that space. And Spirit is saying that it's not ever about what somebody else is doing. Everything is here to teach you something. Everything is your teacher and your mirror. So, in the moments where you're trying to figure out why somebody is the way they is, or why somebody is the way they is, somebody is the way they are, uh, or why somebody is doing a certain thing, you have to stop and take a mental and internal inventory and ask spirit what it is that you are learning from this. What is it that you need to see from whatever this scenario is? Whatever you're being shown, ask spirit to make it clear for you the message that is in it for you. What part of this is yours? Spirit, what part of this is mine that I need to take responsibility and accountability for? Spirit will show you. As an example of that, it's so easy to blame other people for things. And Spirit is cautioning you against that because it is a part of that victim mentality. It is victimhood at its finest. And that's not what we are after here. It'll be impossible for you to grow if you are continually putting yourself in the victimhood space, is what I'm hearing. So make sure that you do not view yourself as a victim. You are not a victim. And once you can see that your outer world is your inner world pushed out, and it is reflecting back to you your inner state, you have to check in on that inner state by what you see. If you are presented something that you are not okay with, you do not like what it looks like, you do not like what it feels like, it's the time to check in. What do I need? What am I learning from this? What is this here to teach me? How do I change this? And you don't go about the change thinking of it in the way of, I need to change this outward scenario, even though that is the thing that you would like to change. But you have to be more intentional and more considerate and serious about what I need to change in me. What is it that I need to change? How do I look at this from a different point of view? Am I seeing this correctly? What am I doing that is contributing to this thing being presented in my vibrational field? How is my frequency in such a way that this would line up with it? Or is it not really matching my frequency, but still presented to me so I can choose a better way? You have to take the time and pause for this dialogue, because Spirit will begin to speak back. Any questions that you have need to know the answers to, Spirit will always give you. So make sure that in the moment you are stopping in and you're checking in with yourself. That will help you from going to one extreme or the next in any scenario. You're just curious about everything. Just take on this curiosity in this curious mindset so that you can figure some of these things out. And when I say figure it out, your spirit will give you, your soul will give you, your spirit team will give you the answers that you need. The answer you need might come in the form of a grasshopper. Like, you'll get the answers that you need for all of the questions that you have. But check in and see, what measure of responsibility do I need to take right here? And hold yourself accountable to this growth. It's necessary. But like I was saying, thank you, Spirit, for reminding me. Many of you have a job. In fact, I'll just use a right now real-time example with me. I work for the government. And a part of what I do for the government causes me or my position to be an essential position, which means that come hell or high water, I am essential and I am fully expected wholeheartedly to be there no matter what. If I am scheduled to be on at work that day, they fully expect me to be there. So shut down and all, not getting paid right now and all. The expectation is that I am there. But you know what? I signed up for it. Whenever I first came on, I remember, because I remember thinking this is crazy and hopefully that don't ever happen. But I remember that being a part of the conversation from the start. And I signed my name, and I've been working here for all these 14 years. and have gone through many government shutdowns, way too many, way too many. But before I can blame the government for anything, I first have to look at the fact that I signed up for this. And if I haven't done anything to change my situation or set myself up to quit right now, then I need to go to work. And that has nothing to do with them, that has everything to do with me. They cannot control anything that I have going on if I don't give them that power. But the power and the onus is on me and to me because I signed up knowing that this was a possibility. Is it okay that they do this? No. Is it permissible that they do this? No. Is it fair? No. Am I looking for things to be fair? I'm not. But it is on me to choose to do something else, to put myself in a position to get the hell up out of there if I don't want to go through this. Are they playing in my face? Absolutely. Have I allowed them to play in my face all this time? Also, absolutely. I am the only one that can make this change. I am the only one that can take over this situation and change it for me. I am the only one that's responsible here. And for me to blame them for anything would be putting myself in a victim mindset. And I've tried. But soon I snap into the reality because I'm checking in. Listen, nobody else is responsible for you but you. So if your situation is fucked up right now and it's on account of something that you perceive somebody else to do, how can you fix it? What do you need to do that positions you different in the scenario where this is not an option anymore? Trust, I'm figuring it out, okay? This is going to be the last one. But I had to come to a very serious part with myself and be very real and truthful with myself about that. I could have blamed them, but you know what blaming them would do? I am a victim now. So I am subject to all of the things that come with victimhood. I'm going to be upset with them. I'm going to be grumpy. I'm going to be going to work doing a half-ass job and potentially get caught up and not on my A game. If I do that, then I get other things that are happening because that is the energy that I'm flowing and operating in. That is where my subconscious will be if I allow myself to be a victim in this situation. And that doesn't make me feel good any of the time. It seems like it feels good for it to be somebody else's fault. But it isn't, because you begin to ruminate on that thing and you just conjure up, because you are an imaginative and visualizing and manifesting being. You begin to manifest on that energy. That's what I would be doing if I decided to blame them and let them take all of the responsibility for this. There are things that are their responsibility. Is that any of my business? It's not. My business is to get the fuck up out of there, to set myself in a position to get up out of there. That is on me. So I use me as an example so you know that it ain't gonna benefit you none to be a victim. It ain't gonna benefit me none to put myself in a victimhood place. I don't like it. It don't feel good. Your insides and stuff be all jacked up because you like, I don't know. I don't know about y'all, but if I'm not, I don't, you know what? I was gonna say I don't know about y'all, but I do know about y'all. If you're not okay mentally, ain't nothing okay. And I don't give a fuck what nobody say, lying to you about it. If you're not okay mentally, ain't nothing okay. And victimhood mentality puts you in a not okay place everywhere. Anyway, all that said, Just take the responsibility for the things that are yours to own. Thank you, Spirit. That's what was trying to come out. Some of every scenario is yours to own. So make sure that you're taking ownership and you're holding yourself to the part that is yours to be accountable to. And that is going to be your saving grace. That's self-love to do that. It's self-love to not give somebody else that kind of power. Oh, okay, Spirit. Boundaries is another thing Spirit was talking about. Given that same scenario with me in this job, a boundary in this scenario would be two ways. I need to set boundaries with myself, which means that I go in there and do the thing that I signed up to do. That is a boundary. It's a personal boundary because that's what I signed up to do. And I'm a keeper of my word. Right? And it ain't like we never gonna get paid. At some point, whenever the government pop back on, they flip the switch, we all get paid again. And they pay the back pay, whatever. But regardless, if I am not quitting today, I need to show up and be who I am because that is who I am. That is the boundary. That is the accountability and the responsibility that is mine to do. My energy does not change because of what somebody else does, nor should yours. Don't allow external forces to change your insides, to change who you are. You aren't who you are based on what's going on outside of you. So you got to get sturdy in who you are, is what I'm hearing. If that is something that has been happening, get sturdy in who you are, because who you are should be who you are in spite of everything that's going on out there. None of that stuff makes a difference, because you can change that when you change you, if by no other way, your perspective, and you'll feel better and be better altogether behind it. And then the other side of boundaries is, am I in this same scenario? Am I going to allow you to keep on doing this? Listen, this is at least the third time in 14 years. At least the third time that I can recall. I ain't go nowhere and I didn't do nothing different any of the other two times. So do I want something to change or no? If I don't move around after this third time, that means I don't want nothing to change. Because it's on me. I didn't realize my power maybe in some of those other times. Or hell, I just wasn't ready to take ownership and move around. I wasn't good with my boundaries back then. Oh, but now. I'm getting better. So, that being said, when you are, however that part helps you, and hopefully it does, you don't have to, like, I didn't have to drag no make believe or like make up a story for y'all to make it work, because I'm living in this right now, and I'm not stressed out, and I'm not without peace. Listen, the universe got me always. So get sturdy in who you are, so you know that you can set your boundaries with yourself and keep them, and you can set boundaries with other people and keep them. And some of them old people that's popping up, no, they want the same thing they've been wanting, and ain't nothing changed, is what I'm hearing Spirit say. So for whoever you are, whoever, that's for somebody, whoever they are. It don't matter. Take a moment with everything. This is another thing that Spirit is saying is an effective tool in boundary. I didn't attribute it to that at first, but I'm hearing Spirit say that now. Taking that pause. it needs to be a boundary in every situation, a boundary that you set for yourself with other people. If somebody is re entering your life or trying to re enter your life on any level, job, relationship that is platonic or romantic, whatever the relationship is to you, pause and take a mental inventory and see why it was not so. Why is it disjointed for them to be returning? Then assess whether or not they've changed. If they've changed, then maybe they can come back. But maybe you've changed and that is no longer your standard. Your standards have changed. And so maybe they can't come back. They might be better, but they still may not fit with your program. And that's okay. But you won't know that until you pause. Check in with yourself. What is your spirit saying? Does it resonate with them? You resonating with the energy syncing up, or if at every point you got your head turned trying to figure shit out, stuff ain't clicking, it ain't making no sense, and you feel a measure of dis-ease and you don't really know why. You don't have to know why. Just go with what your spirit know. That's for somebody. Like I said, these boundaries and the accountability, responsibility, all of it, compassion, all of that is for all relationships, whether you're in a intimate partnership with somebody or not. Romantic, I should say, because you could be in intimate relationship with someone and it not be like sexually intimate, because there are different versions of intimacy. Sex is not just intimacy. In fact, sex often is not intimate at all. But that's another story and conversation for another day. Anyway, Spirit, you got something else. I think the main thing is harmonizing and integrating these aspects of yourself, using self-love by way of compassion. These are the things that are going to get you to embodiment. Embodiment is you walking in the fullness of your sacred power, all that you are capable of. And transmuting this energy is one of your powers. So whenever things get tough and you feel like it's a rough time and like why are things this way, and you want to ruminate and you want to crash out, but you choose to transmute the energy to do something more positive or do something different that will enhance or increase you in some way, that's necessary. That's always going to be necessary. And you're doing well to do that. It don't seem like things are going well and getting better, but they are. This is what Spirit told me is the thing before the thing. The thing before the thing. Often, the first thing be rough. It gets kind of rough. But, Spirit just brought this quote back that I read or heard yesterday from Neville Goddard, I think it was, or Napoleon Hill, one of them. I think it was Napoleon Hill. He said, pain is a portal. And I know that may not sound like much, but that shit rocked my world, because it's an access point. We don't often view pain as a portal or an access point or anything good. Not even relatively. Relatively. I don't know why I'm struggling with that, but nothing close. We see pain as something that we want to avoid and never go through. But I heard this other YouTuber say, her name's Jadina, which I also thought was so stellar. uh, pain leaves behind a gift or something like that, which is essentially the same thing. You learn shit from pain that you would otherwise never learn. Pain teaches you some of the most significant and important messages that you ever, or lessons that you ever learned in your life. We don't want to go through pain, but I don't know if you've noticed by now, life is full of it, and in different forms and different fashions and at different, in varying degrees and intensities. But every single one of them, because everything is your lesson, or your, not your lesson, your teacher. Everything could be your lesson in that way. Everything is your teacher and your mirror. You're in school always. You always learning. And that pain is your hardest teacher. But it teaches you some shit. So there's no way around it. There's no way to avoid it. It's always here. It's ever present. But this is the part of the transmutation. Turn it into something good. Create from it. If you notice, and maybe you haven't noticed, I don't know, but when people transition, they pass on from this flesh, this meat suit, into spirit. Everyone that they were directly connected to changes. Some for the good, some for the bad, or for better or for worse. Everyone in the scenario is learning a hard lesson in that pain. And all of them are transmuting the energy. Some are transmuting it for their betterment, and some are transmuting it to their detriment. And they end up being worse off than whatever they was before. You always have a choice. A wise, a wise man once said, everybody got choices. That wise man was E40, just in case you didn't know. But yeah. Make the choice that is rightfully yours to make to your best and highest and greatest good. Also, if you're struggling to get started, even if you're not struggling to get started, or you don't know how to position yourself in your day, you haven't begun to direct your day with a morning routine, check out the link below. I have created something that is free for you, a part of my rising daily routine or ritual to get you started on your day, to put something in place to direct your day. You can speak kind words to yourself and get yourself going, get your day started, and make that day do what you need that day to do for your greatest good. Anyway, the link is in the description. Hit that, download it. It's free just for you. And that's the message. I'll leave you this message in love and in light. I don't believe I touched on all of it, but if I haven't, I'll be back. And even if I have, I'll be back. Until next time, y'all don't be talking about my hair either. Until next time, love and light.